So this is Luke Rudkowski of We Are Change. He's done a lot of reporting on this kind of stuff in the past. You might know him from hanging out with Tim Pool a lot, but he has his own show. So basically, we're talking about the Epstein files and how we're never getting them. So we'll just watch along. I got a few thoughts here.
I think that this is some kind of epic own
client list. Why was this July 7th memorandum unsigned?
Would you prefer I've used AutoPen?
What? If you look at and remember that memorandum, it literally stated that there was no client list, there was no extortion operation, and Epstein absolutely took himself out, which we all know.
Yeah, and basically what the guy's asking is, why wasn't this thing signed? And instead of saying anything about why it wasn't signed, Kash Patel just goes, "Oh, I should have used AutoPen because of the whole Biden thing."
We all know, especially if you have any kind of critical thinking skills, that is virtually impossible. As now, Kash Patel, I don't believe it, doubled, tripled down on his interrogation tape in front of members of the U.S. representative government and stated, no, absolutely. Trafficking? What trafficking? That never happened here. As his words are very interesting. We'll go over them in great detail, since there does deserve to be a bigger conversation about the story of the decade that some people believe is being ignored. I don't think it is. There's a lot of important things to talk about here, specifically when it comes to Donald Trump and Melania visiting Windsor Castle. They had a weird reception, to say the least, here, as this scandal is also breaking across the pond, as many in the United Kingdom also have some very serious...
You posted 2 things about Charlie on your Facebook, and your typical Facebook friends commented saying he was a racist and didn't agree with God's beliefs. Yeah, that seems to be, unfortunately, a somewhat common reaction to a lot of this. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but...
questions as Kash Patel gave us some details here. Now, of course, the Biden AutoPen controversy, like, we get it. It's a controversy, but to say Epstein took himself out, I didn't need to sign that. I don't know. It just feels all very weird to me, especially in a key critical time and juncture where people are looking at the FBI for helping us bring a semblance of peace and order in our society when we are on the brink of something extremely dangerous and escalating.
Which is kind of a mistake in and of itself. If anything, the FBI causes problems that it then pretends to solve. It doesn't really seem to actually solve problems. I mean, maybe that's just me.
Escalatory. This type of stuff does not breed confidence, and I think it does deserve to be addressed in its full and utter manner here. As, of course, Thomas Massie, a man who has been pushing the issue, a man who has been talking about the issue and bringing attention to a lot of the family members here, says that he wants to know why in the world did Kash Patel change this tune so much surrounding these Epstein files. Of course, you look at previous videos where he was talking to me and Tim Pool, and there was a different person. There was different talking points. There was different understandings. Now that understanding has been completely shifted upside down.
How much do you think the Epstein issue is going to be front and center there? And what do you want to hear from him specifically on that?
Well, I don't want to ask redundant questions. I expect the Democrats will ask a lot of questions about the Epstein files. The first and foremost would be, why did you switch your position on this? There are countless interviews of him on TV where he said on day one we'd release the names. I'm going to wait and see what's asked, and if there are questions that need to be asked that haven't been asked about Epstein, I'll ask those questions.
Do you have confidence?
I'll let you know after this hearing. This will be his first time in front of Congress, and I think it's important that he has a good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably like the only guy in Congress who's actually focused on the getting us the Epstein files, Thomas Massey. And he's right, because, the Kash Patel, the FBI director, he used to be going around on all these podcasts saying, "Oh, we're gonna get the Epstein files. We know they're out there. First thing we're gonna do is release them and expose everything." And now he's just going around saying, "Oh, they didn't exist. But there's no such thing."
That was before the hearing. During the hearing, FBI Kash Patel says, quote, "There's no credible evidence that Epstein trafficked young women to other individuals." Really?
So if he never did that, then why was he even in jail where he absolutely didn't kill himself? And why is his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, in jail? Why is anybody in jail if there was no trafficking? If nothing happened?
Ghislaine Maxwell went for the crime of trafficking children to absolutely no one. That's the line that you're going to be officially talking about here, as there's some paid-off right-wing influencers being like, what children? No children were hurt here. As, of course, there's people literally coming out that they were 14. There was younger people there.
Oh, and if you don't know, by the way, one of the Epstein victims recently didn't kill herself also.
As well, and it's something that I've been able to kind of collaborate. But this is the exact reference. This is the exact moment here. As a lot of people have different responses to this. Owen Schroyer says, "The meme became real. Epstein and Maxwell trafficked as slaves to no one." Dominique Michael Trippi, who posted this first, says, "The handling of this has been so pitiful, disgraceful, and deceptive. All trust has been eroded when it comes to Kash Patel and Dan Bongino." Yeah, I agree. Very little trust here. Myron Gaines says, "Yeah, and dudes watch adult content to see if the plumber is actually going to fix that leaky faucet." I know, right? Gary Cardone, "Please provide facts for this statement. If accurate, we need a new FBI director stat." Yeah, a lot of other people. Bro. All responding to this particular video.
Yeah, nobody
You've
buys
seen
it.
most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information.
Himself. Oh, he just trafficked. It was just him. All these other elites that were above the law and were able to do anything and everything that they wanted to do and have violated many laws before and never were really held accountable. They just went on this private island and were hanging out with this prolific, convicted S-offender for no reason.
Like, seriously, it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, just a cursory examination of the basic facts. I mean, there were all these bedrooms and cameras on his island. I think it should be really obvious. And it is really obvious. That's why nobody believes any of this.
Reason at all. There was no hanky-panky. There was no weird stuff. He just trafficked to himself. What? No. Come on. Really? No one's buying this. No one's buying trafficked to himself. Come on.
Information.
There's no credible, and this is where the cleanup job is. There's no credible information.
If there were, I would bring the case.
If there were. Again, very careful wording here. Very careful wording here.
Yesterday, that he trafficked to other individuals, and the information we have again is limited.
So the answer
The information we have again is limited. This is where he's trying to save himself. But he's reiterating this memo, which he was like, "What, you wanted me to sign that with an auto pen?" This memo that was released and no one put their name behind because it was a total disrespect towards anyone's intellect. Epstein took himself out. No extortion, no blackmail, no client list. Go home, stop asking questions about it. That's what the memo said. Case closed.
So business as usual, pretty much.
And people are like, the DOJ and FBI released this. Why didn't you put your name behind it? Because again, whoever would get the heat. Now you're saying, I don't have an auto pen. What does that have to, like, come on, man. Like, such a stressful issue. And listen, I need this. I don't know. I don't know why. Keep it underneath the tongue. It's made in America. Cancer prep.
in the files.
In the case file.
Okay. Now, you
Yeah, in the case files. Now, again, to give Cash the benefit of the doubt, he kind of came in there. He's like, okay, guys, let's get all these files, get all, and they didn't give him anything. And he should have just said it, but then Trump's like, play ball. And he's probably just taking orders from Donald Trump here. There's a lot. There's cell phone data location. There's financial transactions. There's a lot of things that, of course, could be looked into. But, of course, does the FBI have any kind of official documents? No, they're probably deleted. They're probably scrubbed. There probably should be an official type of investigation into all of this, and there isn't. And people are told to shut up and go home. And Kash Patel is essentially the fall guy here, which sucks because a lot of people had a lot of high hopes. They got nothing.
This is the part I was looking for.
81 Republican senators except Rand.
So this is the most interesting part of this, because this relates back to the whole Charlie Kirk situation. If you look closely here, Chad, and I don't know if I can zoom in, but if you look closely, so this is a list of the senators who voted for and against the motion to, well, release the Epstein files, effectively. And if you look at the date, that is September 10th. Now, if you guys remember, what was the date that Charlie Kirk was assassinated? If you said September 10th, you're right. This happened roughly, apparently about 3 hours after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And then quietly, all except 2 Republican senators voted to not release the Epstein files. So isn't that convenient? Isn't that just perfectly timed? That absolutely raises no questions whatsoever, doesn't it? You're not asking... Nobody's asking, you know, why did this happen on the same day? Why did this happen just a couple hours after one of the biggest pieces of news in recent history? Because nobody's talking about this. Everyone's just talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination now. So we've all just kind of conveniently forgotten about the Epstein files. Isn't that just convenient?
Rand Paul and Josh Hawley voted on a motion to make the Jeffrey Epstein documents publicly available. All of these people voted no. All of these Republicans voted no, except for Rand Paul and Josh Hawley. And there was a motion. That motion, behind the scenes, there was a lot of push. Donald Trump is using his political capital behind the scenes, urging, pressuring, pushing Republicans not to sign the Epstein discharge position, which would release a lot of this information publicly. Now,
so wasn't that great? So even Trump was saying, no, we can't release the Epstein files. What reason? What reason does he have for that?
Now, already, during some of the committee hearings, we got some of the information from the committee hearings from the Jeffrey Epstein estate that released them, including the letter that is still in legal jurisdiction between the Washington Post and Donald Trump. Now, listen, with the way that all of this is unfolding, with the way that all of this is kind of happening here, this is a key issue that if we keep bringing up, we might get more justice here. But Mike Cernovich, he said this September 2nd, by the way, and I kind of agree with him. We ain't never going to see the Epstein files. Those got mopped up. I said this many years ago. I'm tired of linking to old videos to prove it. Either you believe me or not. Have been on this and indeed was the catalyst. Everything we wanted was burned by Bill Barr. Should be criminal charges and recommendations for Bill Barr if that's the case. And again, Epstein evidence went missing during an FBI raid. Oh, how convenient. Telegraph reporting.
Now, was it burned by Bill Barr? I don't know. I'm not convinced either way. I don't know if it's still out there or if they really did destroy all of it. I don't think they destroyed all of it. I think it's somewhere. I think somebody has it to blackmail people with. I think we're just not going to get it because it would affect too many people who have too much power.
Many years ago. Listen, if you're not going to give us justice, arrest those that obfuscated justice. Do something. Unless you're just a part of the criminal cover-up. Which one is it? Those decisions need to be made. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think they're part of the cover-up.